Hello, Internet. It is I, Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today, we're going to be talking about running the bases. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. Oof. So this is two types of movies, really. Well, I guess might as well mention this is a baseball movie, and baseball it's not like when it comes to sports movies, football and boxing are like the king of sports movies when it comes to box office. Its popularity is more in line with basketball, which sounds really strange when you think about it. Since everyone cares so much about basketball and baseball box office wise, they're more or less on par with each other. It's weird, but yes, I'm using Moneyball. That's like one of the bigger baseball movies. I think it's the second biggest. The biggest is 42, as far as I know. Let me look it up to be sure. Well, I think it's the second biggest. Oh, it's the second biggest. Okay. I don't count the Peanuts movie. I guess in recent memory, 42, which had the late Chadwick Boseman as Jackie Robinson, that made $95 million. But again, that was a biopic. Same goes a bit for Moneyball, also based off a true story. Then you got The Rookie, then you got The Benchwarmers, and Rookie of the Year. Yeah, it kind of falls off after this, but baseball movies can do okay. History has shown they can do fine domestically. Overseas, forget about it. But yeah, baseball movies can do all right, so I consider that to be a pro. Another pro is that this is a faith based movie, and faith based movies can do really well depending on what the movie. Well, how do I describe this? Faith based movies can be very inconsistent, but when they hit, they hit. I mean, look at these box office results. The big one is easily Passion of the Christ. I don't know any movie that can top that one. You also got Heaven is for Real, I Can Only Imagine, War Room, Hacksaw Ridge. I guess that kind of qualifies as that. The Shack, Son of God, God's Not Dead, Miracles from Heaven, The Breakthrough, Courageous, Overcomer, Fireproof, blah 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 blah. So yeah, faith-based movies, when they, even if they don't release in that many theaters, if they target their target audience, if they really appeal to that group, they will show up. Mostly, that's what history has shown us. So, being a faith-based movie has had a history of success. So I consider that to be a pro, but also a con because my God, is it wildly inconsistent. So that's more of a middle ground, really. With faith-based movies and their success rate, that's pure middle ground. Uh, there's no direct competition at all, so that's an easy pro. Reviews, they really don't matter because a lot of these faith-based movies, well, I've seen a few of them. They are objectively bad, but the target audience doesn't care because they just don't. uh there's no reviews, but again, reviews do not matter here. But its audience scores at 100%, which can't say I'm surprised about that. Audiences, at least the target audience, they love these movies to death. Like, look at their cinema scores. They're like A's, A pluses. It's absurd. So, so yeah, reviews won't matter, but it's the target audience clearly will obviously love this movie to death no matter what. Okay, cons. Like I said about Pearl and God's Country, all the attention this weekend is on The Woman King and very little else. A little bit on Pearl, but the other three movies, forget about it. It's just nothing. In some cases, less than nothing. So, yeah, that's a problem. It has the potential to really fall through the cracks. So, that's a con. Another con, why I might as well go in more depth about why I consider it to be, why I kind of put it in middle ground when it comes to success rate. I mean, let's look at some of the more recent examples here. You got Family Camp that made like less than $4 million. Father Stew, which underperformed. Life Mark, which that didn't have a normal release, so I'm not really gonna count that. Show Me the Father did awful. American Underdog, despite the Christmas release date, it didn't go anywhere. Uh, I still believe that movie was screwed hard by COVID, so I'm not counting that either. But yeah, it's very much inconsistent. Like you never know when a movie is gonna do well or whether it's gonna do terrible. There's no way of knowing. So that's really irritating for someone like me who has to predict movies. So I guess that'd be the con side of like the mixed bag thing when it comes to success rate. I think that's it. I guess low profile would be another con, but a lot of these faith-based movies they do have low profiles, but they still can do well. So, uh, so that's kind of a con, but not really. But I think that's it. So opening weekend, oof. Oh man. I'm going to be more optimistic than I should. I'm gonna say it's gonna open between $1 to $2 million. I could be very wrong, but that's what I'm going with. $1 to $2 million. And then its total might reach like 4 to 5 if it's lucky. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Not much else to say. So yeah. So that's running the bases. Two more. Two more, and then we're done this weekend. The other two I have to do are See How They Run and The Woman King. So stay tuned for those. But if you want to watch any of the past prediction videos I've made this year, you can go right ahead. Some of the movies I mentioned, I did Father Stew. I did what was the other movie? Crabs. I think I saw Redeeming Love in there. I did that. Family Camp. I did that too. So if you want to watch any of my prediction videos on those, you can go right ahead. And any others. There's also the canceled series where I go over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. There's 154 episodes. Never covered Running the Bases once. I'm at that 154 is going to turn to 155 in due time because I have to talk about Magic Mike 3 going from HBO Max to theaters, and it's frustrating. But yeah, that'll come soon enough. But if you want to watch any of the past canceled episodes I've done on the channel, you can go right ahead. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. The two-part summer 2022 recap winners and losers, that's going to come next week. So stay tuned for that. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos I've done on the channel, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.